Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwaraha. Guru Reva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalde Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Namo Hanumate Bhayabanjanaya. Sukham Kuru Phat Swaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 15th of March 2025. I want to offer my respects and prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagavan residing in the Atma of every single being, in the soul of every single being. With that bhavana and prarthana, we are continuing from yesterday to examine the Bhagavad Gita verse number 39 in chapter 4 about Shraddha. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha sayatendriyaha jnanam labdva param shantim achirenati gacchati. This verse we're continuing to examine in the overall context of the Upanishadic literature, which is also very much expounded upon in the Vivek Chudamani. So that is our link. At some point, we will be going back to the Vivek Chudamani. But again, these are all interconnected ideas. It's all the same thing. It just depends on which angle we're looking at. And it's good to try to understand and realize from as many perspectives as possible. So today, this verse about Shraddha, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. What is Shraddha? So etymologically and scriptural analysis of Shraddha suggests the Sanskrit term Shraddha is derived from the root Shraddha, to have trust or have unwavering conviction. So S-H-R-A-D-D-H, that is the root, which means to have trust or unwavering conviction. And this appears throughout the Gita and other Upanishads also. It signifies a profound interior state of trust, commitment, and respect towards a higher principle or divine reality. Let's be clear on this point. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is an interior state. Interior means what? Interior to what? It's our internal mental, psychological mind that is and within that, it is a certain state of mind, state of emotion. And remember, mind meaning all five: thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy. Vedanta will put it in a different classification: man, buddhi, chit, ahankar. This is called antahakarana. So manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, this is inside of us. This is our mental neurobiological mechanism. It's neurobiological, it's even more than that, perhaps, let's say. Right? It's subtle body. So this mechanism of the mind, manas, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, this is called antakarana, meaning the internal instrument that is given for the purpose of functioning in the world. So Shraddha lives there. Shraddha can be developed inside the antakarana. And that is where it has to be developed. That is called faith. In simple word language, we call that faith. In other words, like in Gujarati, we say ashraya or ashro, Bhagwan no ashro. That means relying on God, but that has to do with faith. So Shraddha is a profound interior state of trust. You see the power of the Bhagavad Gita. Even though this interior state is not the realization, it is a doorway into the realization of the Brahman. So Shraddha is a profound interior state of trust, Point number one. Point number two, it is a profound interior state of commitment. Point number two. And profound interior state of respect towards a higher principle or divine reality. This is called Shraddha. Trust. What is trust? For example, let's look at some simple examples. If our family member tells us, that have trust on me, believe in me, I'm going to take care of you, I'll do this, I'll do that. Some difficult situation is there in life. I have faith in the person. That person can do it for me. We have faith in doctors. When doctor prescribes a medicine, some complex situation. Ye Shraddha ka hi vishay is trust. We go into an airplane. We have trust that American Airlines pilots are not psychotic or schizophrenic, or they're not going to turn the plane upside down. We have trust. We have trust in every action, believe it or not. We have trust when we buy anything from the grocery store that doesn't have potassium cyanide or poisonous thing. We have trust. It's labeled properly. It's manufactured properly. It's been FDA approved. And this, kitna trust hai? Have you gone to check everything? No, it's trust. So trust, meaning Vishwas. Vishwas is Shraddha, but trust is, I'm not sure exactly the word for that, but trust is necessary. In fact, we have trust all the way through in life. Driving a car, we have trust that the person in the back is not going to smash into us. We have trust that our car will function properly. In every small thing we do, there is Shraddha. लोग कहते हैं हम श्रद्धा की क्या जरूरत है? जीवन में श्रद्धा ही है, और क्या है? और क्या है क्या? Without that you cannot function, cannot live, cannot do anything, in fact. So Shraddha in our day-to-day Vyavarika Satyam material life is present. Okay, now let's take it one step further. The same Shraddha in terms of the existence of Brahman, Atma, Paramatma, Bhagavat Dham, ये श्रद्धा का ही विषय है. As we stated yesterday, if Shraddha is gone, that there is no Shraddha, there's no chance of opening that dimension into the higher reality. It can never be open. One will just live a material life and body will end. That's all. But if there is Shraddha, what Gita is saying is correct. What Jnaneshwari is saying is correct. What Shankaracharya ji is saying is ye satya hai. How? But that requires, there's a trust in the words of the great sages and in the path that they have shown. But if we just reject it right from the outright, then it's closed. Then there's no path open. For example, if I want to get on an airplane and if I start believing, no, that pilot is crazy, the plane is defective, there's 100 problems in the plane, if I start having that kind of belief, and I will not go on the plane. But if my belief is solid, justified, things are good, I'll have confidence this is right. Isn't it so? Similarly, in Adhyatmika Marga, called Archi Marga also, it is all a foundation of Shraddha. That what Krishna is teaching, what Bhagwan Ram taught, what Bhagwan Shankar has taught, what the Sanatan Dharma teaches in the Sat Shastras, in the Vedic tradition, and in terms of mantra sadhana, that this is correct. It is bona fide. It is a tradition that is at least 10,000 years old. Veda mantras have survived for over 10,000 years as they are. Bhagavad Gita has survived since the Mahabharata was written and placed in, Bhagavad Gita is placed in the Mahabharata 5,000 plus years back by Ved Vyasji. It has survived as it is. Why? There's no distortion to the Sanskrit verses. You cannot say the same thing about the Bible. With all due respect to the Bible and love for the Bible is written in so many different languages, so many iterations, Council of Nicaea coming together and making changes and deciding what should go in, what should go out. That's not the case here with the Gita. Not at all. This is the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma Shastras. They have remained intact. Yeah, commentaries are many. No doubt. Commentaries, perspectives, interpretations are in the thousands. But the original text is as is. We cannot say that for the Bible. We can say that, we don't really know exactly what Jesus taught. There was no recording. Nobody wrote it down exactly the way he wrote it or spoke it. And it was written in Aramaic. He didn't speak English, right? Or the Old Testament, that was written in the Hebrew language. And even that was developed and put together, over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. The actual original thing that Jesus taught, do we really know what that is? People say, well, this is actually authentic and all that. Okay, you can say that, you can make an argument, but there's no recording. He didn't actually write something down and say, these are my teachings or anything like that. That's not the case. Yeah, the Buddha wrote down his teachings, yes. In the Eastern traditions, you'll find much more authenticity, and I say that with all due respect to the Abrahamic traditions, with respect to them, but these scriptures are extremely authentic. The 700 verses of Gita have remained just as they are. Nobody has made even one alteration to the verses. You cannot say that about the Bible. You cannot say that about the Bible. And again, there is a lot of history and analysis of that. That's a whole different subject, actually. The scholars have gone through, but you have to go through the original text and whatnot to really understand, to see the original language that was there. And then even that was put together by these different councils, by different individuals and all that. And nothing was written for quite a long time, by the early disciples of Jesus for many, many, many years. And they are the ones who wrote this down. So how authentic is it? Is there contradiction? There's a lot of scholarly debate about those things. You will not find that kind of a thing about the Gita. No. Or about the Veda mantras. No. Vedvyasji classified them into 4 parts, and then the Upanishads. But Vedvyasji only put together what was already there before him. Vedvyasji came at the time of Sri Krishna 5,000 years back. So what came before Vedvyasji was there for thousands of years. It is apaurushaya. And this is the whole point about the word Shraddha. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse number 39, when the first word is Shraddha, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha sanyatendriyaha jnanam labdva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. Boy, I sometimes feel that we can spend the whole year just on this verse. Itna amazing hai. A tremendous baat hai ye sab. This word Shraddha, it is jam-packed. It is like it's not just, it's a teaching, but it is a stage of development. And see, if you look at the bhakti sampradayas that came out of the various acharyas who developed them, they have taken the concept of Shraddha as not just as a concept and made it and shown how to open Shraddha actually from inside. Vallabhacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all big acharyas, the Bhakti Sampradaya acharyas, even Shankaracharya ji himself. How amazing. And the beauty of this is that Shraddha is not blind faith, but an informed, experiential acknowledgement of scriptural authority and the Guru's teachings. Let's understand this point. So Shraddha hai kya? Shraddha, is it blind faith? People are saying faith. We use this word faith. This is, again, a Western term. It's not exactly the right word. It's okay. It's a good word. But let's be clear. Shraddha is not blind faith, but an informed acknowledgement of scriptural authority. I'll explain it. And an experiential acknowledgement of scriptural authority. and the Guru's teachings, Sadguru's teachings, great sages' teachings. Let's understand this point. Well, Shraddha is not blind faith. But what is blind faith? Blind faith is just believing something somebody said. That is blind faith. No, that is not Shraddha. It is informed acknowledgement of scriptural authority. Informed meaning what? Take the Gita for example, Bhagavad Gita. Gita ka jisko abhyas hai. Study the Gita. You study the translations, no doubt. But try to study the original language, the original words, and there are many commentaries with the actual breakdown of the one word at a time. Study 5 commentaries, 10 commentaries, 20 commentaries. Properly study. Abhyas karna hai, to vyavasthit abhyas karna. This is not some, this is the problem we have in the Sanatan Dharma. What is the value of the Gita? Let's watch the other useless things, do other meaningless things in life. Waste of time. What is worth studying is the Gita. So again, humbly, Sachin's commentary on this. Every single person in Sanatan Dharma must study Bhagavad Gita. That is our base. That is our foundation. We cannot say our, meaning humanity's foundation. But to maintain the tradition, we have to study it. Everyone must have the Gita at home. The children must be taught the Gita verses, chapter 12, chapter 15, various chapters taught. Have them memorize it. Then do the Omkar sadhana. See, this is how Sanatan Sanskriti is maintained through the children. And it is good for us also. But the point is, it requires study. Iska abhyas. So many commentaries. Paramhans Yoganand ji ke commentary hai. Kitne amazing commentary. Swami Prabhavananda from Chinmay Mission has written commentary. Swami Chinmayanand ji has extensive commentary. Kitne bade santon ki commentary hai. In Swami Narayan Sampradaya, Gopalanand Swami has written commentary in the Gita. Jnaneshwari, Sant Jnaneshwari, Maharashtra mein, it's a total commentary in the Gita. Jnaneshwari Bhagavad Gita hi hai, but it's an extended conversation. It's something extraordinary the way it is done. Bhagavad Gita ka abhyas karna chahiye. Abhyas, and abhyas means study. So it is through the process of study and contemplation and manan chintan and asking questions and going through the process, this is how Shraddha is born. It is called the birth of Shraddha. Shraddha is informed scriptural authority. Now, authority meaning what Bhagavan Sri Krishna Paramatma is teaching in the Gita is absolutely, unequivocally as it is. That conviction comes inside in the authority of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That is called Shraddha in the Gita. Isn't it something? My goodness. That it takes, I don't know how much time. Nobody knows how much time this takes to get to that point of Shraddha. So the informed scriptural authority. Why the word authority? It is authoritative. That what is written there is correct. Well, how do we know that it is correct? When we read the words, when we understand the concepts, then we begin to experiment with them. This is called experiential acknowledgement. To acknowledge, for example, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sayam. Sachin reads this verse. Can I see that is true? Not because simply Krishna is saying or somebody else is commentating on that commentary. Can I see it myself that this is true? Then I will have faith that what he's saying is correct. But when he says Divyam dadamite chakshuhu, मैं आपको अर्जुन को दिव्य चक्षु दी है. Well, ये क्या है? One has to really see what that could be. There's a lot of analysis on that. Obviously, there's a limited amount of time in life. But at some point, by going through this process, Shraddha can be born. And Shraddha meaning Shraddha at a level, at a stage where all doubts, sangshay, is gone. सत्संगी जीवन का एक शास्त्र है भगवान स्वामीनारायण के संप्रदाय में, उसमें ऐसा लिखा है, संशय आत्मा विनश्यति. Samshay meaning doubts. As long as doubts are obstructing, we cannot have proper Shraddha. Shraddha is not blossomed. And without the full blossoming of Shraddha, our sadhana, Shraddhavan, meaning that state of Shraddha and Shraddhavan, one who has Shraddha, the attainment of Divya Gnan, Divya Bhakti, that was not going to happen. That is why the doubts, all of them have to be cleared up. And that requires satsanga. It requires manan chintan. It requires conversation. This is the concept of the Upanishada. Upanishada is a dialogue between the Sadguru and the Shishya. It is called Guru Shishya Sambad. It is called Sambad. Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambade. It says in the Gita, right at the end, Sri Krishna Bhagavan and Arjun ka Sambad hai. What is the meaning of Sambad? Sambad means that the Shishya is respectfully questioning and the answers are respectfully heard back and the Guru is respectfully listening and the teacher is respectfully teaching. This is called Sambad. It is called what J. Krishnamurti would probably call dialogue, although he didn't talk about Guru Shishya Parampara that way. But he was a guru, actually. I mean, he wrote so many 200 plus books and all that. Even though he rejected all gurus, anyway, that's a different subject. But he's speaking from the Brahman only. That's why. He doesn't come down to the relative level. Leave that aside. I shouldn't go into that right now. My point is simply that Bhagavan Krishna and Arjun are in Sambad. And that relationship is an extraordinarily beautiful, trusting relationship. If an actual enlightened guru is present, like fully enlightened guru, I mean, we are all doing sadhana and we have the scriptures and we respect all the incarnations and all that. That's good enough for us as it is. But in terms of if pratyaksha guru, someone who has who's fully awakened and enlightened is present in front of us, then this samvad can happen with the pratyaksha guru. So pratyaksha means that you can see with your eyes who's in front of you. So Arjuna is in front of Krishna. Krishna is in front of Arjuna. And they are going back and forth, And he keeps asking different questions and whatnot. And then what is the result? Let's just close with this here. What is the result of going through the entire process of sambad, of this questioning back and forth? It is what Arjuna said in the last chapter of the Gita, that my moha, my delusion, my false understanding is gone. Nashto moha smritir labdva tvat prasadan maya chuta atosmi gatasandeha karishye vachanam tava. This is the verse. I will do what you're telling me to do. Because the moha is gone from my mind. What was that moha? All the stuff that he was talking about in chapter 1 and up to the 10th verse in chapter 2, all those arguments he was making, that was coming out of moha. Our moha can go also. And this is where Shraddhavan labate jnanam. That jnana kya hai? It is where Shraddha culminates, where all doubts are gone, and our sadhana, it is opening from inside. Our spiritual activity, the sadhana, 9 forms of devotion, manan chintan, shravan, manan, nididhas, every kind of sadhana, it opens from inside on the foundation of Shraddha, where there is no dispersion of sadhana, due to the fact that Shraddha is developed at its highest levels, and due to the fact that Shraddha is towards that which is absolutely genuine, not something false. That is how Shraddhavan labate jnanam. That is the link. Let's stop here for now. We can spend the whole year on this one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Vame yasya sita radha shrisha yasya shivaksisi. Vrindavan Biharam tam Shri Krishnam. Rudichinte. Om Durge Durge Rakshini Tata Swaha. Om Divilingaya Nama, Urdhvalingaya Nama, Anandalingaya Nama, Dvadash Jyotirlingaya Namo Nama. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamandai Vicham Gvam Hum Klim Jum Saha. Jwale Jwale Jula Jula Para Jula Para Jula Aim Rim Klim Chamandai Vicham Jwala Ham Sam Lam Ksham Hat Swaha. Om Durge Durge Rakshini Tata Swaha. Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu. Radhe Radhe.